Look who it is. The newest member of the Insiders TV show, Mr. Mark Gindy. Oh man, you're looking good today, sir. You make my comb over look bad. That's how good you look. Welcome everybody.
We really needed to up our sex appeal. Is basically why we brought Gindy on.
Pretty much.
Oh man, thanks for all the love, guys. Thanks for the introduction.
Welcome to the Daily Fantasy Show, sponsored by FantasyElite. It's the Insiders TV show. And we are going to talk about a little bit about baseball and a lot about football. So Wednesdays are going to be a fun show because we've got Napster Man, we've got Mr. 05, and we got Gindy 989. So it's going to be like kind of the player show. It's going to be tons of foolishness and maybe some information. But I want to introduce you guys to Mark Gindy, a.k.a. Gindy989. He was in the Bahamas with us last week. He's a good friend of Sports for Steve, and now he's a good friend of mine and a good friend of yours. So, Mark, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am from Brooklyn, New York. My accent might be able to, show you guys that I'm from there. I love DFS. I'm a big NBA, NFL, and now MLB guy, and I'm here for you guys. I got my Money Menzel shirt on. We're going to make money for our viewers, and let's do it.
I told people that you were the sexier, more polite version of Steve.
I don't know about sexier.
Oh, man. Steve's my boy, though. Steve, much love for Steve, and, wish we can get him on a live show.
Yeah, we will. We will, like, as soon as all of our tools are ready. So
there's now.
Oh, God. When his Darth Vader audio comes in.
I think it might be just your microphone, Nap.
I can use I'll screw the headset.
See if you can screw the headset.
This works. Alright, do you hear now?
Oh no, it's just your audio.
Uh-oh.
Keep talking.
Yeah, it's your audio. It's okay. It's okay. Frowny face. Hey, do you have a phone, Nap?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you just email me your number and I'll just call you? How's that? We'll do it old school. We'll just have audio version of Nap, because right now you are fuzzy wuzzy. So that's what we'll do. So yeah, email me your number like the old school days, and then I will call you, and then from there we will have Napster Man on. So there you go. Had to get rid of his A. We'll call him back though, I promise. So baseball today. We had some Dozier news, Gindy. What's that?
He was not in the lineup. He was a top play at second base today, and lineup came out. Dozier's not there.
Did you play any early only today?
Not really. Just I threw in one lineup into a GPP, and I had Pagan in it, so I just stopped looking.
Yeah,
pretty much.
He was a late scratch. That was not a good thing.
Yeah.
But as far as pitching options for tonight, Dan, you had the article today. What are your quick thoughts on some of the pitcher options?
Yeah, I kind of wrote a little quirk and kind of took a shot at some people on Twitter in my baseball write-up about Andrew Cashner and his absolutely ridiculous price tag on DraftKings, basically saying that if FanDuel had priced Cashner as poorly as DraftKings had, then Twitter would just be raising hell about it right now. But Cashner's 6,600 on DraftKings, which is just absolutely laughable. Basically, it's a mispricing coming off an injury. So he's far and away, I think, the top night option on DraftKings for only 6,600. And then you're kind of filling in kind of just whatever floats your boat from there on, whether it be Jacob deGrom or Jared Weaver, if you kind of want to go with a little more risky upside play.
Yeah, Cashner's price is definitely appealing. Like two pitcher sites.
I think on FanDuel it's appealing on FanDuel too. I think he's he's still a little mispriced there, not it's grossly mispriced. But 7,800 on FanDuel, I think he's still the top play there.
All of the Cashner tonight.
Yep, that's basically what we're saying. The other options really aren't.
Yo.
Hey, Nap.
You can actually hear me now?
Yeah. I wonder how good your cell
Wow.
service is.
What?
You don't pay per minute, do you?
Oh, whatever. An hour's fine.
How many bars do you have right now?
4.
Oh, nice. All right, so we're talking about pitcher options. Who do you like tonight as far as pitchers go, Nap?
I mean, if you're gonna pay, I think it's Archer, and then, but I'm not really using it too much. Like, I think there's too much value with Cashner, especially on DraftKings. Probably already said that. And then FanDuel, I like Vargas a lot.
Interesting.
Give us the
What
Vargas
you guys
breakdown.
say? What?
Give us the Vargas breakdown. Why do you like him?
Oh, I mean, he's just crazy cheap and then at home versus the Rangers, who just, I think they haven't been doing well at all. I can't remember the last big score they put up. And
Friday night,
Vargas
Matt.
is just-
Friday night.
Friday, they had a good night.
They scored like 14 runs on Friday night.
Oh, I mean, besides that night, yeah, everyone,
Yeah.
they don't score 14 runs. But yeah, I just think he'll get 6 innings, 6 Ks, and hopefully under 3 runs. And for that price, I just don't want to pass that.
I also saw Vargas' career against the batters of Texas. I know we don't like BVP, but they're not good against them. They're not good against them.
You're bringing BVP to the show already, Gindy?
I just want to create a lot of havoc in the chat, so I just brought up BVP.
Oh, well,
Where's Tommy G when you need him?
Havoc and BVP kind of go together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, look at the Rangers lineup too. Look. I mean, the 2, 3, 4 hitters are guys that started the year in the lineup, and the rest are kind of just random fill-in guys for injuries and just recent call-ups. So
Yeah, like
I can definitely see.
Rua.
Yeah, Rua, Teliz, Dan Robertson, even though he's been mashing left-handed pitching, even him is not a quality batter.
All right, so we're talking about MLB for the next 5 minutes, then we'll get on to NFL. Hitters tonight, we're not going through position by position. We're just going to go and just touch some hitters. So, Mark, who
Dave,
would you like?
Dave, can I just give one interesting note I tweeted out earlier on pitching?
Yes.
All right, I kind of like Kohler as my second pitcher on DraftKings with Cashner, only because he pitches really well at home, and DeGrom has like a 4 ERA on the road, as opposed to a 1 point something at home, and I just think that price on DK as a second pitcher is going to work really well tonight.
Yeah. You think he's more of a cash game or GPP play?
Either way, I don't think that DeGrom's going to outscore Kohler by a wide margin to make him unsafe for cash games. So I would go with Cashner and Kohler either way tonight.
Tuttle, are you on board with that?
I can see it. I struggled. I ranked the guys for tonight in my article, and Kohler didn't quite make the rankings. He was a guy that was kind of just right on the borderline, though, for me. So I can see it. I do think he probably is. I'm in agreement that I think he is probably a better option for price than Jacob deGrom, even though Davis Maddox going to hate that I said that. But I do think he is. And then I guess I'll throw in my long shot real quick that I wrote up. I wrote up Josh Colmentor as a guy who's right in that Kohler range for price. He's a guy that gets by through deception. So you usually don't see him go long or far into games. And if teams pick up on his deception and his release point quick, then it's going to be trouble for him. But if they don't, then he's a guy that could rack up some points for his price.
Dink says that he didn't think it was possible for Nap to look paler. I changed it, though. He now has the panda logo. So, Nap, I took care of you, bud.
Dude, I'm so tan right now. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So tan.
I saw you. Hitters. Touch on some hitters, Nap. Who do you like basically behind the plate?
That's the catcher, right? Not the ump. Sorry, bad joke.
I thought the same thing. Don't worry.
I'm pulling up some lineups. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I think for the price, he's the same price on FanDuel and DraftKings. I know he's not. He's 1K difference, but it feels about the same. So Mesoraco, I think, is in a really good spot against Miguel Gonzalez. He's one of the biggest home run dudes in the league in a great ballpark. Most of his home runs are off righties too, which isn't usually what you look at right away. But yeah, he rakes righties, and I think he's going to go tonight.
Tut.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. I think with Dozier out of the lineup, a guy that you can get for cheap that's in a hashtag pretty good spot would be Eduardo Nunez. He's 2,400 on FanDuel. Looks like 3,000 on DraftKings. Now we're just doing batters in general, I think.
Oh, okay, like 2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, because we're gonna go right through this. So he would be my, I guess, one of the top cheap options just because of his spot in the order.
Gindy?
I'm high on David Ortiz tonight, and some of obviously the Baltimore power bats. Scooter is in a pretty nice spot tonight. Lead off against, Hendricks, who does give up some damage to left-handed batters. So those are my guys right now.
Very nice. Basically, that's all the baseball we're going to talk about today.
Can I guarantee a donk?
Oh yeah, sure. No, if you guys want to guarantee a dong, yeah. I know you how long have you wanted to say that?
It's for a pretty long time. It's just ironic that this is like Steve's favorite player, and this is my first day on the show. But Alex Gordon is my guaranteed donk.
Who's that?
Alex Gordon.
Oh, I thought you said Alex Wood.
No.
That is definitely Steve's favorite player.
Alex Wood, Bryce Harper, or
Carlos Gonzalez.
Or Carlos Gonzalez. Who does Steve love the most?
Steven Strasburg.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Strauss. He really does hate Strauss. When Bryce Harper hit that home run off Kershaw tonight, Kyle Cannon went nuts.
I know, that was great.
Went nuts. All right. Let's shift towards football. First look, tomorrow's game. Gindy, I'll kind of let you start us off as far as are you playing tomorrow?
I don't think I'm going to play a lot tomorrow, but I do like certain guys tomorrow. I can help you with that.
Okay. Well, I think that if you are going to, I think that people should play tomorrow's slate. Because even if you don't like players in that game, which I don't blame you. I mean, it's good, like one of those good games, but we just don't know about the fantasy implications. But I think people should at least put in like a regular Sunday lineup, because we know pretty much this is not like week 8, week 9, where we don't know information about a certain player, like game time decisions. I mean, pretty much all the news is out there. You've got the Wes Welker news, but he's pretty much going to play. That's what they've said. You've got Le'Veon Bell and LeGarrette Blount who are going to play. So we know all the news. And I think that there might be some fish out there that are wanting to get in some Thursday action. So that would just be my little bit of industry talk. Nap, I'm curious to get your take on that.
On just, say it again?
On playing tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's good just to take, like, one of, some recognizable names in the lobby if they're posting, and just see what they do. You get kind of a look at the field, 3 days ahead of time, just to you can kind of figure out the obvious over-owned guys in tournaments. Maybe look at CSU Rams team. He's definitely going to play Thursday. I would definitely look at that team. So there's a lot of reasons to play besides it's going to be over-owned in a pretty ugly. I mean, I think Seattle, there's a couple of guys you can touch there, but I mean, it's hard to take anyone in Seattle off Green Bay. So, yeah, there could be a lot of dead, hopefully under 5-point performances that are overplayed.
Yeah.
Yep. It's strategically an advantage to play the Thursday night slate in a weekend long tournament, because a lot of the people that want to get into the Thursday night slate are going to play guys from that game, and if you can fade that, you put yourself in an advantage.
Yeah. So I have heard some rumblings that FanDuel is going to block the percentage owned or block seeing other people's lineups for Thursday night slates, but I just don't know if they can do that just yet. Like I would feel like we would have already heard something definitive if that was the case. So
I think they would have tried it for baseball if they had it ready.
this is true.
Yeah.
One of those things where you just get speculation, where one person's saying one thing, another person's saying another, just with all the development.
There's a lot of smoke with that rumor, Dave.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke with it.
Oh. Well,
Dan knows something.
oh. Oh, snap. Yeah, if you're in the premium only chat, you can hear what Dan has to say. What exactly that rumor is. No, but if they do that, I think it's still plus EV to basically play games just with normal Sunday lineups. And also, before we get into like specific plays and start hitting tomorrow's games, I want to kind of rewind. DHP on Twitter at DHP, aka DP, aka Late Show, aka Letterman, and everything else. He basically asked the question: is it possible for some fish to come in and construct a bad lineup on FanDuel? Definitely thought that was an interesting question, and he basically said for people to go try it themselves and see if there is any sort of lineup that a newbie could create that as an experienced player you would have a 10% edge. I'll start with you, Tuttle, since you are one of the high stakes players.
Yeah, I saw that tweet, and I thought it was actually a really good point.
Because you don't believe in the fish as much as what other people do.
What's that?
You don't believe in the fish as much as other people do.
Well, no, I mean, they're out there. I thought the point was interesting because it was basically taking a shot at FanDuel's salaries and how soft they are. And I mean, if you go construct a lineup on FanDuel, they are extremely soft. You can pretty much go and play whoever you want to play. And I mean, that's basically what his point was, is that, I mean, you really have to be stupid to play a lineup that doesn't make sense. But I think at the same time, I think DP is kind of overestimating the general knowledge of the population. I think there are a lot of stupid people out there. Not to sound elitist or anything, but there are a lot of guys out there that really just don't know what the hell they're doing, or they're doing it for fun, so they're going to go ahead and they're going to stack their favorite team that weekend. So I think there can be, I think there still is, even though the salaries are extremely soft, I still think there's going to be edge over fish this week.
Gindy, what are your thoughts?
I agree with Dan. I just feel like maybe an advantage would be a fish coming into a website and not reading the scoring settings and starting, like Danny Woodhead on FanDuel when it's only half point PPR as opposed, and then we already know that stuff. And also the importance of having a receiver and a quarterback combo. Some players
Vegas would be another.
They're not aware of that.
Yeah. Vegas would be another thing that people, including myself, didn't really understand when you first got into it. I had my high school basketball coach. He texted me on Sunday, or maybe it was Monday. Yeah. Tuesday? I can't remember when. There was an article in the Wall Street Journal. He saw it. He texted me. He said, "Okay, I'm ready to get into it. Where do I start?" Like, he didn't even know where to start. And I think that you'll see a lot of people like that. I mean, there are even accounts that are not sports related that are now trying to get into the affiliate mode for FanDuel and DraftKings. I pointed out to you yesterday, Dan, Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, Wiz.
Basically tweeted out to his, like, you can't, it's not just like a rap cultural thing. It's like any sort of music guy that tweets out to 14 million followers about a fantasy football league. You have to feel like you have some sort of edge there. Nap, I'll get your final thoughts, and then we'll start cranking out this football stuff.
I mean, I think the one kind of like pool of players that could be taken is like all the suspension guys. Like I'm sure Josh
That's true.
Gordon, you know,
Ray
would
Rice.
be like, yeah, Ray Rice, Gordon, Welker. I mean, they're going to be at least 2%, hopefully, in the big fields. You
I
might
think
even
Matt-
see like 1 or 2 in your head-to-head.
I think Matt Prater is going to be the biggest guy that people will play because they're going to just see Denver, think points, and roster him, not knowing that he's going to be, out.
All they got to do is click on the player, and the news is right there. This player is suspended for the first.
Some people don't want to click more buttons. Just
Yeah.
take a line and enter it.
I mean, everyone has experienced playing a fish that has like scratch play, like players that haven't even like for baseball. This September, you'll see guys play people that haven't been in like all season. Like that happened last year.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, I think that's a good point by Nap too. I think the more I think about it, I mean, we're guys that do this every single day in and out. For us, it's kind of hard to conceive somebody new entering a lineup and not knowing this information. Like Wes Welker seems like obvious information, and it is for guys that spend time in this sort of thing. But for the guys that are taking 5-10 minutes just to throw a lineup in there just for Sunday entertainment, they might not know, and they're not going to be following the news as closely as we are. So I think there are those people out there, and there will be, especially those people out there in week 1 until they lose their money.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. What is the one thing that you feel kind of silly about now that you didn't know when you first started playing DFS? Mine's definitely Vegas, like without a doubt. I didn't factor it in at all. I was doing NBA stuff. I didn't factor it in, which is like a big no-no. So what was the beginner mistake that you made that you kind of feel silly about now, Gindy?
It has to be Vegas because, Vegas does know more than us or the general public. And I kind of made that mistake too early on in NBA, and then I just started following Vegas a little bit. Blowouts, over-unders, baseball team totals. Just it's got to be big. I can't think of anything else right now.
Yeah. Tuttle?
Oh, I have a good one. I'm going to get killed for this if Davis is listening, but I don't think he is. Davis or Steve. I never used BVP, but I did look at BVP when I was a newbie. I never made an informed decision based off of BVP, but
yeah,
I
BVP
did look
was
at it more than I'd like to lead on.
It was definitely a thing. I mean, I was doing my first introduction to shows was like a baseball show, which I knew nothing about, which is one of the reasons why I'm not really on baseball shows giving advice on Insiders TV. But I was I was talking about BVP. He's 2 for 4 with a home run against his pitcher, and I was definitely guilty of that. Nap, what about you, bud?
I mean, just the availability of information. Like I can't even imagine I'm following a team's beat writer on Twitter like 5 years ago, and it's crazy that people aren't doing it now. So yeah, just using all the resources available. I think sometimes when you start out, you get comfortable on one site or one guy's article, and you have to try to get as much as you can everywhere just to get a better feel of everyone's kind of opinion that night.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's get back to the football game. Speaking of Vegas, some of the opening lines. Tomorrow, you've got Seattle as a 6-point favorite, but just kind of like a meh game in terms of 26 to 20 is kind of what Vegas predicts. Total points of 46. So if you had to play one player from that game tomorrow, who would it be, Mark?
Oof. Russell Wilson is probably the most obvious play from that game because he has a good matchup. I wouldn't recommend playing him. If you do want to play somebody from that game in the GPP, I'm throwing in Jermaine Kearse, and that's about it.
Yeah, you went on a ledge and said Kearse would score the first touchdown of the NFL season.
Yeah, That's my
you
call.
went on that
That's
ledge.
my call.
Don't come off it now. If you say it on
That's my
Twitter,
call.
you can say it on here.
No, yeah, okay.
Okay. Tuttle, one player or
I
defense.
played one guy. For those of you out there, I'm not playing tomorrow night, and I don't know if I'd recommend it unless I wouldn't recommend really playing anyone from the game. If I were to play one guy, I think I'd go along the same path as Gindy, but it would be Doug Baldwin instead.
Tuttle,
You mean that?
Nap.
That was tough. I mean, right now I do have some Thursday teams, and the only guy I have is Lynch. I kind of like getting that early sweat just for fun for me. One guy who can go for 3 touchdowns and just root for. Hope he does it, and hope everyone else saves that game. I think he's the one guy that has the best chance at it. And he's just not getting much talk at all this year. He's falling in season-long drafts, and he's kind of in that high price range, but I'm just doing it.
Yeah. I definitely I'm with you guys as far as I don't think that tomorrow is one of those games that would be smart to play, but I do think that just put in a regular game for cash lineups. I think you could catch some fish. But what I would do is just a few GPP lineups, throw in Russell Wilson. I mean, people are really high in Russell Wilson being a top 5. I mean, some people are saying he might be a top 5 quarterback this year. So that would be pretty fun if
Top 5, huh?
if he goes off. I'm not saying it, but there is definitely hype around Russell Wilson this year.
Anyone say Harvin? I like Harvin.
Yeah?
Percy.
Yeah,
Percy could be fun.
Yeah, if you want a first quarter play, that'd be good.
I just think generally people are very high on Percy because of his days in Minnesota. I'm not a big Percy guy anymore.
Yeah, CPAT has kind of filled that role. How heavily owned do you think that Patterson will be this week, Nap?
In cash games or like the biggest tournament?
Really, anything. I mean, I want to basically pick your brain about
so much hype.
Hype, yeah. Guys that have season long fantasy hype, like Patterson. Who are some other guys? I can't really think of anyone really outside of.
Or you mean like not rookies?
Yeah, I mean rookies too. I guess.
Cooks has crazy hype going for him right now.
Yeah.
Also, Justin Hunter.
You've got the tight ends. Yeah, Hunter is one. Hunter's definitely one. And you got the tight ends with Kelsey and Ladarius Green that have had some hype in season-long leagues. So
we have Kenny Stills written in chat, Andre Ellington, Bishop Sankey.
Ellington definitely is one.
Ellington's the guy that I'll probably find myself playing, though, out of all the guys receiving hype, just because his price point is awesome on FanDuel, especially.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't play Sankey because he's not even he just yesterday they announced was going to be the number 2 running back, but you've got 3 people carrying the load. Sankey's one of those week 10, week 11 plays once he assumes the starter's role. Not tomorrow. But yeah, Patterson I think there's going to be a healthy dose of Patterson, especially on DraftKings.
Davis, Roto Hobo, and myself were pretty high on Travis Kelce for week 1 on Twitter last night. So
yeah, I was going to get to Kelce.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy that's receiving a ton of hype, and I don't know if it's athletically it's warranted.
Yeah, so
why not? Who else do they have?
Nobody. Jamal Charles. That's all they need.
I'm saying, well, when it's a passing down and you can't throw the ball to Jamal Charles and you're in the red zone, who are they going to target?
It's not a passing down ever with the with the Chiefs. It's
Jamal Charles. Avery.
Oh, didn't have to say that.
He's my secret week 1.
So that, yeah, therein lies the issue.
If you win a GPP with Donnie Avery this week, you can order me. You can order me dinner and from wherever you are to New York, and I'll gladly tip the delivery man for you.
Hey, who they got? Without both?
Donnie, I don't know. I'm just saying, if you win a GPP with Donnie Avery, take care of me.
All right. Now I got to put him in some.
Oh man,
Just made him up.
Avery's one of those home run guys. He's got to get like 3 long touchdowns. Not going to happen. But here's the thing with Kelsey. He's 3,200. So is Ladarius Green on DraftKings. You've got these sites that came out with salaries before like any of the initial roster cuts. So there's still like a lot of names. Trust me, I had to import them all last night.
I'll take if I have a 3,200 tight end on DraftKings. If I'm going to 3,200 tight end, I wrote this guy up. Give me Jace Amaro.
Yeah?
Jace Amaro. Really?
Yeah.
I heard that he wasn't even ready to play in the NFL yet. I mean,
training camp, he had a rough start. Everything I've read has shown signs of kind of turning around and basically saying he's their second receiving option. I mean, he's a receiving tight end. That's really all they're going to use him for.
That's all he does. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
So if I'm taking a flyer on DraftKings, which I'm not, I'm taking Julius Thomas because I think he's underpriced on DraftKings at 5,800. So Julius Thomas is the way to go there, in my opinion. But if I'm going 3,200, I think I take Jace.
Hey, Dave, or anybody here, what do you guys think on the Broncos receivers now that Welker's out? I mean, would you trust Caldwell?
I made the mistake last year. I had like the perfect combo. It was during the DK Millie, and I played Caldwell instead of, who was it, Welker or Decker? Or all of them, except for Caldwell.
All of them, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it was all 3, except
who's
for
the
Caldwell.
other guy? Who's the guy who's on the Chargers?
Guy that used to be on the Chargers.
Oh, Royal. Was it Royal?
Eddie Royal
Eddie
is on
Royal.
the Chargers now.
Yeah, Royal
Oh,
did
he is
have
now, yeah. And he used to be before, too, I think. I don't know. Might have been him.
He definitely had 2 touchdowns, and those were like, someone talked about that today, that people are going to play Manny Sanders, and that Caldwell's going to be the guy that comes away with 2 touchdowns. You don't know what you can. Like, I agree with Tuttle. The 2 guys that I'm bumping up is Demaryius Thomas and Julius Thomas, and then like Sanders, like you're almost like forced to kind of take a look at him. I'm not a big believer in season long, but when you've got lots of targets kind of rolling out there and he's in that 5K range, then you have to consider him. So I think all 3 are in play. Like, I think that pricing is kind of soft on FanDuel, where you can just play Graham. You don't have to go with Julius Thomas, and then you can get Demaryius and Manny Sanders in there if you want.
If we hear that Sanders is going to play the slot, I think he's a good play on DraftKings at 48. What is he, 4,800?
Yeah, his price on DraftKings, it's going to be tough to fade him there, in my opinion.
If he plays a slot, you got to figure he'll get minimum 4 catches, 5 catches, and something with Peyton there. I mean, it could work.
Yeah. Receiving options. Nap, your thoughts?
I had Kelvin Benjamin for a while, and most of my lineups just based on his price. But now there's so much more opening up. It's not the greatest matchup, but I think he still should get at least 10 targets, hopefully. So he's still crazy cheap on every site. I think Ruben Randall's in a decent spot for the price. He's 5 on FanDuel.
He's another guy that got big time preseason hype.
Yeah, and I mean, it's cruising him, and like they're probably going to be behind big the whole game. So, hopefully he can get the 100 and touchdown. I think it's very likely.
Davis told me a stat, speaking of Manny Sanders, that he has not had a 100-yard game ever in college or pros.
Wow, he's due.
Definitely.
Not a great way to look at it now.
3 touchdown games, though.
Yeah. So he's due, basically.
Yeah, Macklin. What's Macklin's price on FanDuel?
Macklin's the guy that jumped out on me. When
Okay.
Basically what I do is I look through pricing is the first thing I do. I scroll through sites pricing, and Macklin was the first guy that jumped out at me at 5,000.
He's going to be
Kevin
heavy.
Randall's a good hedge.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got, they're going to smash Jacksonville. When you give Chip Kelly a whole offseason to prepare for like that first game, like they're going to be just ready, and they're going to do their thing. As far as like the total points go, you have in that game, it's a pretty big spread, and Philly's going to be the top scoring team according to Vegas, followed closely by Denver. That Denver game is going to be fun. It's Denver and Indy, and it's a night game. Like, I know, obviously, Tuttle loves the primetime games. Nap, you also like having some late night exposure. Maybe poor wording there. But Gindy, do you ever play players or play teams just because you want some action in the night or Monday night slate?
I have to admit, I've done it in season-long leagues when I choose my kickers, when I stream kickers. I've done it. I'm guilty. The daily side is tough. I mean, I still like to stick to whoever's going to give me the most points, I will put him at line. And, that's what I'm going to go by.
I'm in agreement there. If there's a coin flip between two, yep.
Yeah.
If it's a tiebreaker, give me the late guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That Detroit Lions, it's going to be in Detroit, but they're playing the Giants, like another game that should be fun, like to roster some of those Detroit guys for Monday night. I mean, when you're talking about all these huge tournaments, and you could have a Detroit guy like 100K swing one way or the other, that's going to be fun. That's going to be real fun. We're doing I'll be doing the Monday Night Sweat Show for DKTV, and man, I don't even know what's going to happen when you're talking about like potential like 6-figure winners that you go from like first to 10th because of the number of entries. Like it's gonna be a little cray. As far as other teams that are high scoring, this is another team that we haven't talked about, but has a lot of preseason hype. The Bears playing against Buffalo. But you've got a lot of hype around Cutler, Marshall, Forte, and of course Alshon Jeffrey. So out of those, do those teams that have a lot of options scare you, Dan?
Not necessarily. I think with the Bears, you've seen that they can spread the ball around equally, and every guy can kind of pay off their price tag. I'm actually a huge fan of Cutler this week. TJ Hernandez wrote him up as one of the top value plays, and I'm on FanDuel, and I'm in a complete agreement there. He's 8,000 on FanDuel. The only thing is, with their soft pricing, I don't know if you have to go that cheap at quarterback, but I do like him quite a bit there. I also like him on DraftKings for 7,800. I think he's probably my favorite kind of mid-tier quarterback option this week.
Nap?
Hey, which quarterback did you just say, Tuttle?
Cutler.
Smoking Jay.
I said like Hernandez, sorry. Like,
No.
What the hell's that? Yeah, Cutler. Yeah, I mean, all those guys besides, I think, Forte are just scary in a cash game. Like, it could literally be Bennett, 3 touchdowns, Alshon 1 and 50 yards, and like Cutler or Marshall gets all the touchdowns. It's scary. It's just, I mean, for the price and the upside PPR, I think Forte is the one guy I'd feel comfortable in a cash game with, honestly. Even Cutler for 8K, I think he can be better cheaper. Like a single lineup cash game. They're all amazing tournament plays.
Yeah. I'm still a believer in Cutler. Just has tunnel vision to Brandon Marshall.
Okay.
So Brandon Marshall would be a good play. Brandon Marshall would be my play because I like the McCoy Charles combo on FanDuel this week because we can pull it off.
Probably the most. Do you think that's gonna be the top owned running back combo?
I don't know. People are gonna want to get Ellington in there.
Yeah, I currently have Ellington in there. I tried to do the LaShawn McCoy Charles combo and couldn't quite make it work to my liking, but I'll have all week to tinker with it. But I think that will be one of the top combos because the pricing is soft, and because you see people saying that Sean Hill's a good play this week.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the Sean Hill thing more tomorrow when Davis and Leone and JJ Zachariason, a.k.a. late round QB, number fire guy. He's going to be on the Thursday show, so that should be fun. But we'll definitely talk, since he's a late round QB guy. We'll be picking his brain on the Sean Hill thing. But if you want those two running backs, you're going to have to go cheap at quarterback, or just play all of the high upside wide receivers. Like, you're not going to be able to get really any safe wide receivers. Like, you're talking about like Macklin, Justin Hunter, and somebody else. I don't know who's that. Who's a low price, secure guy around that 5K range
on FanDuel?
Yeah.
Ruben Randall is the guy that Nat brought up. A guy I like quite a bit for 5,700 that I think's pretty safe option is Marcus Colston.
Oh,
I think
Cook is going to be owned.
Kelvin for 49, like, there's no competition.
Who? Calvin Benjamin?
Benjamin, I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to fade that.
yeah.
What about?
Rookie wide receivers week 1 kind of scare me.
Yeah, they scare me too. A little bit.
Not
I
Did
can
any of
see
you
it
guys-
though.
Would any of you guys play Golden Tate at $5,000 against the Giants on Monday night? Monday night.
He would be like one of those GPP plays.
In fact, our very own Sean Siegel wrote up Golden Tate as one of his high upside plays.
Yeah.
He would be,
Well, if you get Travis Kelce in there or one of those cheap tight ends that we spoke about earlier, you can actually you can do it. You can pull it off.
so it's like I can think of like 10 different like strategies for FanDuel that you could pull off. Like, if you want two very high price running backs, you're gonna have to skimp at least 2 positions and go pretty cheap on wide receiver. I'm excited about these sites that have lots of roster positions. So DraftKings having 3 wide receivers and a flex is cool. Draft Day is interesting. They've got like 2 quarterbacks, they may added 1 or 2, but they have 2 quarterbacks, which I like because I was a big Draft Street fan. And then they have 2 running backs, probably 2 wide receivers, a tight end, but they have 2 flex. So they have 2 tight end and 2 flex. So that's going to be fun. Those are that's a site that I think if there were a lot of fish, I don't think that there necessarily will be a lot of fish on week 1, but that's when you can exploit it because you have people not understanding the value of the flex position or the PPR. Basically getting your points there. But going back to kind of the different sort of strategies, for the most part, you play it safe. We talked a little bit about what DP said on Twitter. He said, if anything, I think it's going to be the experts screwing it up, trying to outsmart everybody. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I'm scared of. I'd rather just take like the guaranteed safe play for these cash games. And if you want to play upside, you can in tournaments.
I know Knapp was saying in Atlantis that he wants to take it a little easy week 1. Don't go all in week 1, and I'm going to go with that, Knapp. I'm going to go with your advice there.
Yeah, you got Al Smizzle that says that he thinks his advantages in week 1. As far as bankroll management, though, you've got everybody who's wanting to play. And I think what Knapp was saying is that, like, for baseball, you've seen the value in entering the late, like going hard at the late tournaments. I mean, look what Love's Bases did. Got 3 entries to the Bahamas in a week. Just hammering it, even though he was also hammering it at the beginning of the season. It just like if you're still going hard at it by the end of the season, you're going to have a better shot than there's going to be some crazy lineups that win week 1. I've already reserved. Yeah, there's going to be just some you're just like scratching your head, like how is that even a lineup? Like how did that person?
Maybe like Derek Carr, like Andre Holmes on the winning lineup.
Yeah, it's like not even that. It's like a backup tight end that scores like 2 or 3 touchdowns. I mean, just something.
Someone's gonna have him.
Yep.
Something crazy that you're just scratching your head with these tournaments, like stuff that you couldn't like. If I said, okay, I'm gonna channel Like, give me the powers of Napster Man and McJester. I still couldn't come up with some of these week 1 combos that are going to win. I think. Of course, it could all be chalk now that I say that. But
There's Dave. There's so many players that we love week 1 because no one's burned us yet, and we're just high on a lot of people. So it's also tough to make lineups when you like everybody.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge how defenses really are because they're not going full speed, in preseason, and there's so many new players on every team. It's like I think it takes at least a couple of weeks to really get an idea of matchups after like starting NFL season. So I think week 1 is just pure cash game smash week with so many new players and really pounding the solid plays, and then you just kind of figure out some more sneaky plays throughout the year to kind of give yourself an edge in tournaments.
definitely. It's if you have any questions for us, feel free to ask us in the chat.
Can we make a team, please, like we did on FanDuel? Can we do the whole draft order thing?
You do that draft order thing?
Remember last year we would make FanDuel teams with everyone, with the guys on the show?
Yeah.
Take turns picking a guy and fill it in? Sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll do that. Just a note, tomorrow we'll have JJ, Zachariason, Leone, and Davis, and myself, and we'll be doing some elite drafts where they have the bracket blast off. Tomorrow is an excellent time to get in for elite on basically the short slate, the primetime slates, and the college football stuff. So we also maybe have a little bit of Jordan Case tomorrow talking about college football stuff. All right, so let's go to FanDuel.
While you're going there, we got a question on Marcus Wheaton.
Yeah,
Are any of you guys looking at Marcus Wheaton?
He's one of those high upside guys, but I'm not sure about week 1. Nap, your thoughts?
I mean, I thought like he's always on the radar. Like I just haven't used him much. Like I probably should. Antonio Brown is just going to get probably double the targets, but he's a total one. He'll be under 1% owned in tournaments for sure.
Yeah, I'd personally rather go for a similar price across the industry. I'd rather go Marquise Lee. I think it's going to be a much higher scoring environment, more passing in that game. So I'd rather have Marquise Lee.
Agreed with Dan.
Yeah. Okay. So Tuttle, you started us off with this basically collective team.
Oh, wait, before he starts, are we focusing on cash games or are we focusing on whatever?
Just the best,
the best lineup possible.
Best lineup.
All right.
I'm gonna start with Marcus Colston.
Why? Why would you start?
Why?
Because it makes it fun.
I
could go with Jamal Charles. I could go with Sean McCoy. I want to see how you guys work around Colston.
I feel like Dan was like wanting to do this just so he could torture us.
I could go Lions D if you guys want as my first one.
No. Gindy, your turn.
All right, I'm just going to go Greg's our line because Minnesota has been kicker friendly last season.
There we go. We got a kicker and Marcus Colston through too.
Dude, he's probably the number 1 kicker. Don't you think so? Like in the dome at home, besides Dawson. Like, wow.
Yep. Yeah, I like him. He's locked in.
I didn't think I was going to get so much love for picking a kicker right away, but
I can't believe. Honestly,
no one yells at
people who respect kickers out there.
All right, Nap.
Anyone, any position?
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm trying to think what people are gonna do. So we're doing our optimal lineup. I'm asking this question. I'm gonna say T.Y. Hilton.
What?
T.Y.
This is definitely not a cash game.
Yeah, this is not a cash game.
He's in my cash. What? He's not. Okay.
He's he can be a cash game lineup.
Yeah.
T.Y. Hilton can ball, man.
One of the highest over-under games. Like, he's gonna have a bomb.
He can do it. I don't mind it.
Sure.
He's a good alternative to Emmanuel Sanders for the same price.
As long as the Colts go down 14-0, T.Y. Hilton is going to put up some crazy numbers.
All right. I'm going Jimmy Graham just because He's like the steak.
Consent.
So we've got
Back in there.
a quarterback, 2 running backs, and a wide receiver left, and $7,000 per player. So Tuttle, who you want to
I'm
draft
going to
now?
go with Smokin' Jay Cutler.
Ooh.
You know what you have to do now, Gindy.
Yep, I know what I got to do, and I'm just going to take... Let me see, 1 second. We don't have much dollars left.
We got $68.25 per player.
We can make this work.
I'm not
Okay, I'm going to go Larry Fitzgerald.
What?
Why not?
I mean, if you got Jay, and this is obviously already a GPP lineup, you go
You're
Bears.
entering this team in the bomb, right, Dave?
You go Bears wide receiver. No, I'm like,
No, the Bears' best wide receiver is going to be Matt Forte this week.
I'm creating a league, and it's just going to say these are not Soccer Dave's picks.
You got to run this team somewhere.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Fitzgerald, come on, Mark.
Fine, so should I just... Oh, fine, you know what?
We can't talk people off their picks.
Okay.
That's just,
Nope,
Okay,
you've
no
already
problem.
made it.
Dude, you get the Monday Night Sweat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm throwing this in, since Dave's being a pansy, I'm going to go ahead and throw this in Thursday game, just so we can see some... That way I get some percentage owned figures and have some fun with it.
Okay. Just don't make it Christine Michael.
Yeah. He's out.
That's my boy.
All right, we'll throw this in the bomb.
Okay, you got 2 running backs.
And it's Snap's pick, right?
Yep.
I think we need
Who was the quarterback? I missed it.
You got Jay Cutler. Don't worry, though.
Okay.
We didn't pair him with another Bears wide receiver. We paired him with Larry Fitzgerald.
I mean, it's not that bad. Like, you can spread it. Let's see.
No, on a half-point PPR site, yeah, Fitzgerald's good for at least 7 points.
I'll post this lineup on our sweat score.
Okay.
I mean, we could have went Andrew Luck instead of Cutler. Why do I got to take the heat for taking Fitz?
Dude, so bad. All right, just because we have 2 like senior citizens,
Oh,
I'm gonna
God.
say Frank Gore.
All right, the
Dude, no one's gonna have Gore. He's gonna beast.
All right, so you've got 6,600 left. If you take just a Mensal defense, that means
Gore's a good play on Sunday.
that means
So you're looking something under 8,700, Dave.
yeah, 87 or under.
Yeah, that puts us in a crappy spot for our second running back. Well, you got to. I know who you have to go here.
Yeah, you've got to go.
Dave, don't disappoint me.
Come on.
I think I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go Ben Tate.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
No,
That's
over
70
Monte
yards.
Ball?
Yeah, over Monty Ball.
Over Monte Ball?
What? We have no exposure to the Broncos offense. This can't. go wrong.
I think that we can do a better job than this. I say throw this into a GPP.
I would go Geo over Monty Ball.
Oh my god.
No.
Yeah.
No.
2 guys I'm bullied. 2 guys I love
You
this
like
year.
road
Monte
guys
Ball,
against
love.
tough Rendies.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna go ahead and pick.
You
No, I
picked
can't.
Frank Gore, Nap, against Dallas.
He's a beast.
In
Yeah,
Dallas.
Frank Gore against Dallas is a great pick.
Dallas doesn't have a defense.
Carlos Hyde is scary though. I kind of wrote that because Gore's got a
I
really
think they're
nice
both
price
gonna
on
have, like-
DraftKings.
I think Gore's gonna have 102 in the first half, and then Hyde does it every second half.
Papa
Yeah.
Cub says this is why it's important to have a dress rehearsal before the show.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick the Seattle Seahawks D's since we have 5,800 left.
Oh, so gross.
It's gonna hit.
Yeah,
So-
it's gonna
So
hit.
to recap, we got Cutler, Gore, Tate, Larry Fitzgerald, T.Y. Hilton, Marcus Colston, Jimmy Graham, Greg Zuerlein, and Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, it's gonna hit rock bottom.
I think this will answer DHP's question.
Yeah, can you make a lineup that is fishy? We just did. Groupthink just got us to a really crappy lineup.
You're gonna see lineups like this. Fitzgerald, he's definitely a new player's. one of
yeah,
my favorites.
Fitzgerald and Gore because that's who they know.
Exactly. And Colston, at that price, they're gonna think it's a steal.
Hey, I think Fitzgerald's a good play Monday night against
No, we've
San
already
Diego.
established that. We've already established you think he's a good play. So,
Think.
Dude, don't hate on the Colston strategy. Colston pick. He is a good pick this weekend, guaranteed.
the Colston Graham
Tuttle
strategy
threw
without
us over the
Breeze.
Cutler pick. Tuttle threw us over the Cutler pick.
What? Colors? Oh my gosh, you guys.
No,
Who's
I
the
like
running back?
Lasted for Colston and Cutler when we have Larry Fitzgerald on our team, Frank Gore, and Ben Tate.
Look, we basically are
Dude.
giving lessons on how to not construct a lineup. Like if you put Colston and Breeze or Colston and Graham in a lineup, you probably should have Breeze in there.
Yep.
If you're
What's our defense? It's gotta be
That,
Niners,
that
right?
one was my fault. Not going Breeze.
if you're playing if you play Jay Cutler and you have one wide receiver spot left and two running back, you should probably choose a Bears wide receiver. Either that or someone just anybody other than Larry Fitzgerald would be that strategy there. So yeah, we basically are showing you that it is okay to do that. Manny Sanders or CPAT for the same price.
Give me Manny.
What site?
FanDuel.
Sanders.
FanDuel. You got to go Manuel Sanders.
Ugh.
I mean, no. FanDuel. Sorry.
Yeah, give me
Yes,
CPAT.
it's Manny.
No, give me CPAT. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get lots of touches week one.
I'll go Manuel Sanders just because everything is. All the
He
factors are
returns
going.
all the kicks too, right?
Yeah.
Patterson returns all the kicks and stuff. Yeah, that's probably a little edge.
For those of you out there in dynasty leagues, I know we don't do dynasty advice, but Jerick McKinnon, pick him up. Well, we're talking about CPAT. Jerick McKinnon is
The backup.
backup running back. I think he'll take some. I think he'll eventually take some touches away from CPAT this year.
Interesting. What's his name? McKinnon?
Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah, I heard about him. This offseason. Heard his name.
AP says he's the best athlete he's seen.
Oh yeah, that's who the workout warrior guy they were talking
Yep.
about. Interesting.
Good call, Tuttle. Good call.
Yeah.
What was the
Don't play
defense
him week
on
one
this,
and
on this
then-
winning team?
What's that?
What's defense did we pick?
Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks. Just to make you
no,
happy
Thursday,
now, so you can watch the
Happened
game.
to Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Jarrett McKinnon, he's the next Toby Gerhart. You heard it here, folks.
Or should we go Panthers, do you?
No.
Didn't you say Lions D before, Tuttle? Didn't you like the
Well,
Lions?
I'm not going to leave $1,200 on the board. I think Lions D is the way to go on FanDuel this
I mean,
week.
why not? We already picked Frank
Listen.
Gore and Fitzgerald. So
We should have just chose our kicker and defense first. And then build a lineup from there.
while we're
Okay,
making all
to
these
be honest, the Seahawks pick's kind of a bit of a happiness hedge for me, as I'm a Packers fan.
I'm a Packers fan too.
And that way, if the Packers suck and the Seahawks D does well,
How are you a
then
Packers fan,
my-
Andy?
yeah, how are you a Packers fan, Giddy?
I'm young, so yeah. Brett Favre used to be on my television when I was growing up, and then he won the Super Bowl.
Favre.
Favre. All right. Well,
And then just stuck. We just stuck. Packers.
okay. That will do it for today's show. So an interesting first NFL show, to say the least. I should have prepped Mark better, basically. I should have told him that it's okay to pick wide receivers under the age of 40 in this little draft game. So there you go.
Is this more rookie hazing coming my way?
Is more rookie hazing. Mark, final thoughts for us?
On football or on the show?
Or life. Football, life, baseball, whatever. Just final thoughts.
Final thoughts
what
are,
did you learn on today's show?
Don't use that lineup we just made. However, it will. I don't know. Don't use that lineup we made. Don't construct a lineup in that way. Next time we do it, we should start off with the defense and the kicker. And yeah.
There you go.
Thanks for having me on my first time. It was a great experience, and hope we can do it a few more times.
Sound like my wife on her honeymoon. Tuttle, what did you learn today?
I learned that I'm going to win a lot of money because people don't like Marcus Colston and Jay Cutler, and they're going to be awesome this week.
Whoa. Nap, what did you learn?
I
He needs new audio.
I need to put some teams in. I'm way freaking behind. I was like, I don't even know half the people's salaries. So I learned.
Nah, fix your computer first.
Yeah, I learned I need to buy 10 microphones for backup.
We're gonna have just like a Kickstarter or Indiegogo project for Nap and Derek. We're gonna get them like the best computers money can buy. Just everybody chip in.
Yes.
Everybody chip in.
Good luck to everyone playing MLB tonight.
Yeah, good luck to everyone playing MLB tomorrow. Again, we'll be ramping up the NFL content. We'll be drafting live on air with some of the elite slates, and we'll have JJ Zachariason, Mike Leone, Davis Maddock, and myself, 5 p.m. Eastern here on Insiders TV. Find us on YouTube, youtube.com/fantasyinsiders or fantasyinsiders.com/TV. And if you haven't signed up for the NFL package or any package, the monthly package is probably the best deal, because for $30 a month, you get all the NFL stuff, CFB stuff, and MLB stuff. So you get all that for $30. And yeah, it's going to help you out. This month's going to be like a hectic month for us, but it's going to be a fun month. So good stuff there. We'll also have the 4-for-4 projections ready by tomorrow with the optimizer tool. So we're ready. We are gearing up. We're ready. We got some sweet graphics on the website, thanks to Tuttle.
Just over 24 hours and we got football. Let's go. Let's do it.
Hey.
Go Pack, go.
Let's do it. On behalf of Nap, Tuttle, and Gindy, I'm out of here. We'll see y'all later, guys.
Peace.